Hi Pisces, welcome to your reading for mid-August. So it will be the last few weeks of August going into the beginning of September. How are you? How has your August been so far? Hopefully you've been able to enjoy the sun. In the UK we've had a lot of sun. I'm not sure 100% sure what's going on in the rest of the world, but it's been a pleasant summer holiday so far. In front of us we've got the books from the Oracle decks I'm going to be using for today's reading. And before I begin, so I've been doing a meditation for each sign before I start the readings, and with yours, the first thing that I saw was the color blue, very, very strongly, just blue, blue, blue. And I was thinking, oh, is this going to be it? It's just going to be blue. And then it felt like, there was the feeling of it being like blue fabric and you being wrapped up in, or someone being wrapped up in blue fabric. And then from that, it was like, you know, the dancing when people do the performance from the ceiling with fabric, I believe. I had to look it up because I didn't know what the hell it was called. I've seen it before. Aerial silk gymnastics, I think it's called. Aerial silk gymnastics or acrobatics. If you've ever seen the artist Pink, musical artist Pink, she's done that. She did it with her daughter as well, actually, where she used the fabric from the ceiling and they do an acrobatic performance. So that was what I saw. So it can, I suppose that could, I mean, obviously take it as you will. And if that means something to you, then you'll know and you'll take it as you will. But there could be something with someone doing a performance, possibly could be dance, could be anything, or you could be going to watch a performance or supporting someone who's doing a performance. The color blue also made me think of the chakras, and I was like, oh, which chakra is that? So I had to look it up. I've got a little book and it's connected to the throat chakra. Although it specifies in the book I've got, it specifies the color connected to the throat chakra as being turquoise, but it, like when they do the image on the book, it's that one there. Yeah, that one there, that's the throat chakra. So it actually looks blue, doesn't it? And that's the color that I saw. So throat chakra is to do with communication. Let me just see, there's a few bits I want to give you out of this that you may want to do, you may find helpful. So yeah, it's connected to communication and expression. If you are into crystals, it recommends to help with the throat chakra, turquoise. It says it increases creative energy in the throat chakra, and it will heal any tendency to lose energy and help deepen a commitment to telling the truth. Also, blue agate, it helps to anchor your spirit in the body, preserve physical energy, so that you're not so that your energy isn't dissipated in distracting conversations. It assists with clear communication, truth telling, and strengthens the will. And then there's also aquamarine as well, and it says it captures the beauty of the sea and the sky. It suggests balanced emotions and a deep commitment to sharing one's true feelings with someone you love for a lifetime of sharing. And also, I'll just give you this bit about the color, where it speaks about the color and refers to the turquoise. So, color of the throat chakra, turquoise. Turquoise suggests the beauty of the universal spirit and represents all forms of creative expression, communication, truth, and willpower. The color is linked with the vast expanse of sea and sky, which engender feelings of beauty, depth, and freedom. It is a color used to soothe the soul. It is highly prized for decoration, clothing, and any place where beauty is expressed. Turquoise has a calming effect on the body and is said to be able to reduce blood pressure. So, hopefully you get something from that. Otherwise, let's get on with your reading. So we're going to start off with a message from African Goddess Rising. What do we need to know for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please? What do we need to know for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Last few weeks of August going into September. That was quick. You have Aizan, Miracles, and Mamiwata, Naked. I love the fact that this is like a mermaid and we're doing a Piscean reading. So you've got quite a few connections to water already, to your energy. So let's move those over here. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah. Let's get your tarot cards out and then I'll look at the messages in the books for those. So what else do we need to know for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising for August going into September. What do we need to know? So first card you get is Four of Cups in reverse. What else? I feel like that was first. We've got the Empress, the Ace of Wands. I mean, obviously we spoke of that creative energy connected to the an expression connected to the throat chakra as well. The Ace of Wands for me is expression. The Empress is creative, well, can be creativity, creation, should I say even. Let's get one more. And you also have the Two of Cups, okay. So the first word coming up with this is connection. Okay, let's read from the book. The word vulnerability is coming up as well. And obviously with the Mummy Water card, that is, to me, that is connected to vulnerability. Let's see what the book says. So first of all, Aizen. So she's goddess of miracles from Haiti. Mambo priestess Aizen is the wise Haitian Iwa deity, queen of the market riches and sacred initiations. Respect her as the highly venerated spirit of the first priestess. Her guidance says, you are a magnet for miracles, you are a miracle. What if you truly allowed yourself to believe? All things are possible. Dare to dream bigger. You claim you want miracles, but you take an I'll believe it when I see it approach. What if you will see it after you believe it? Believe that you deserve to be, do, have the world you want for yourself. You can be your true self. Do what awakens your soul and have your desires. This is life's miracle. If you haven't witnessed your miracle yet today, ask for it and allow it in. And the declaration says, my life is full of miracles. And then Mummy Water, 30. So it says she's the goddess of emotional nakedness. A water element, obviously. Mummy Water and her sisters live in the Ikpoba River in Benin City, Nigeria. But the ancient mermaid goddess is her own global pantheon. Mummy Water influences emotions and gifts her followers with clairvoyance and healing powers. Her guidance says, hide no more. The emotional nakedness you avoid is your superpower, not your shame. Being emotionally naked means being vulnerable enough for the real you to shine through. Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. Practice being transparent. Start with the people closest to you. Say, I haven't been showing the whole me, but I am starting today. Have the courage to feel and express your feelings without people pleasing. Speak your truth, share your story, cultivate an appreciation for vulnerability in others. Be comfortable with feeling uncomfortable and making others uncomfortable. And the declaration says, I have the courage to be vulnerable. And that, I feel like that might be a major part of this, in terms of, because we spoke of the throat chakra, and again, that's partly expression, creation, etc. Oh, this is making me think of something else as well, and I can't remember what it was I was reading this morning about the origin of the word abracadabra, and how it's basically your words are like your magic wand. And obviously we've got the stuff about communication, speaking up, and a wand here. So like speaking things into reality. Yeah, so back to the vulnerability. Are you being vulnerable enough about what you want to create? Like, are you being honest enough and truthful with yourself and others about what you want to create in life? Are you being honest about your feelings or desiring more understanding? And if you feel that you are misunderstood, does that cause you to hold back? Is this a challenge that you're overcoming? Yeah, let's look into the clarifiers and see what comes up here. So first of all, Four of Cups in reverse. I mean, it's better for it to be in reverse than upright, because that usually means that it's either that you're coming out of a sense of kind of like apathy, dissatisfaction, or I can see my candle going, I'll relight that in a sec, or it's something that needs to happen. So Four of Cups, let's clarify that. We have the Seven of Pentacles, first of all. The Hierophant. The Knight of Pentacles. The rules, I'm getting the rules with the Hierophant, something about the rules, but we'll look at that further. Right, there's that creative, well, okay, they're together, the Ace of Wands and the Magician, creative energy together. I'm going to get one for the Hierophant and the High Priestess. Let's see. One query that's coming up, and it's yeah, it's a little bit random. Are you wanting greater commitment from someone, whether it is a romantic situation or something else, and have you expressed that? That's a question that's coming up. Because that may be a discussion that needs to be had. Okay, I'm just going to relight the candle because I get if the candle's not burning, it distracts me. I know that sounds strange, but it'll be a second for you. Okay, Pisces. So again, back to that query of if you're wanting greater commitment from someone, have you expressed it? Because obviously there's that whole concept of if you don't ask, you don't get, do you? With the High Priestess there, it's kind of what one of the meanings is, it's where you're keeping something to yourself. And if you don't speak up, then nothing can really happen with that, can it? So, right, Hierophant. Or are you committed to something that you're not sure about? You know, are you deciding what you want to commit to, whether it is to do with a relationship or something else? So, Hierophant. Right, Temperance, the Fool, and then the High Priestess as well. Nine of Wands, Three of Swords. That looks like keeping something to yourself, to be honest, the High Priestess. And it's obviously having a detrimental impact if the Nine of Wands is there and the Three of Swords as well. Yeah, Queen of Sea. I think this is what needs to happen, that Queen of Swords, but something is being kept to yourself, whether it's that you're struggling, you're burdened, you're fighting battles, there's pain, disappointment there, but something needs to be said about that potentially. With the Seven of Pentacles there, that is the is it kind of worth it card, or it can be where you've put effort into something and you're assessing or reassessing and questioning if you want to continue, if you want to create something new, if you want to do something new, change something. With the Hierophant here, I just keep getting the rules, the rules, the rules. There might be rules that you're following, but what is your truth? Because you might want to be liberated from these rules. The way the Ace of Swords looks with Temperance and the Fool, it looks like you kind of want to liberate yourself from some sort of rule. Okay, let's move these and we'll continue and see what else we get for you. I would say overall that Four of Cups, there is that whole vulnerability that needs to come into things and opening up about something, about what you need to feel satisfied overall, I think. Because if you can be open and honest about that and decide whether you are happy where you are or not, or whether there's something, a new direction you want to pursue, or you want things to change, you're going to have to be honest and open up about that to make the change, for things to change. But it did say in that Miracles card, it's that whole I'll believe it when I see it versus I believe it and then I will see it. Right, so let's move these and let's look at that Empress energy, that creative energy. So Empress, yeah, we've got the Moon, followed by the Ace of Cups. I mean, for me, and this one as well, the Moon followed by the Ace of Cups and the Sun is definitely sharing a need to there's a need to open up about how you feel, about what you love, about what you want, what you desire. Anything else? expression. I mean, Knight of Swords is there as well, so that's definitely opening up. So yeah, there's a need to express more, even if it's so it could be a conversation, obviously, or it could even be expressing whatever your craft is, to be honest, whatever you consider your craft to be, whether you are into music, whether you are into dance, whether you're into art, writing, science, technology, whatever your craft is, it could be that as well. Let's get one more. Ooh. Five of Swords. So this to me suggests this is why you may be keeping it to yourself. It can be like mental conflict. So that can be negative, kind of negative self-talk. It can be self-sabotage, you know, not feeling good enough, that kind of thing. It could be that you fear the reaction of others when you express yourself. Let me get one for that Five of Swords. We've got the Queen of Swords again. She's going to keep showing up, isn't she? The word trailblazer is coming to mind. And fierce. Fierce is coming to mind too. This Tower card, I just love her facial expression in this card. I know she just looks like she's caused absolute chaos, but it just, yeah, I'm quite enamored with that. Whatever it is you want to express, or whatever truth it is you want to, that is being hidden, that you need to share, I think there's got to be a degree of kind of fierceness with it, and fearlessness. That's come up a lot this month. I mean, not surprised, obviously being in Leo season as this is being recorded. You know, Leo is connected to courage, isn't it? But there's got to be a sense of really standing strong in what you believe, what you want to express, and what matters to you, what your values are here. And you can't have the fear of causing or creating a tower moment from that expression. I think that's like a key point here. You got to stand strong in your authenticity, because that's something that tends to come up with for the Empress for me as well, is authenticity, especially when the Queen of Swords and like the Knight of Swords is anywhere near it as well, is authenticity. What's authentic to you in terms of what you want to express and how you want to express it. And what are your beliefs around that, about the outcome of you expressing. So let's look at the Ace of Wands. That's like that creative spark. That's the fire. That's the passion in you, whatever you're passionate about. Whether it is a cause, a belief. The Eight of Wands has come out. I said Eight of Wands, didn't I, by mistake? But there it is. Again, there is a feeling of overwhelm in this Eight of Wands. This particular Eight of Wands can feel overwhelming because there's just absolute chaos going on in there. But Eight of Wands is communication as well, isn't it? It is expression as well. It could even be as simple as someone doesn't want to express or share something because they feel chaotic and disorganized and all over the place. I'm getting this image of, like, you know, if you were a painter and you did a painting where you just went absolutely nuts and were just doing all sorts and it doesn't even look like anything, but that is your form of expression. So it means something to you, like you've put your feelings and emotion into it. But you're kind of like, oh God, if I show this to anyone, they're going to think I'm losing the plot. And it's like, yeah, but this is what has come from your heart. This is what has come from inside you. So what matters is that this is what you've expressed and how you've expressed it, not so much what other people think about it. Or even another thought is coming to mind, you know, like if anyone who creates music, like producer type, if you came up with this really new, unique, out there kind of sound and you're like, oh my God, if I share this with anyone, again, they're going to think I'm absolutely nuts. It just sounds like the craziest thing, but it's from your heart, isn't it? And surely there's going to be someone out there in the world that will appreciate it, even if it's only one person. I mean, we've got the Two of Cups there. It might only be one person that appreciates it, but it can have such a big impact on them that it's worth expressing it just for that one person to really value and appreciate it. That Two of Cups can be connection, and it can be sharing and connection as well. We have Page of Cups. That's about can be about expression as well, and kind of wearing your heart on your sleeve. And look, he's painting. Interesting. Right, we've got Justice, and we'll get one more. So what do you want to express? What do you really want to express from the heart? And do you have the courage to do that, to express that? You can't, I don't think you can be worried too much here, or there's a need to stop worrying about feeling safe and secure. And I know that that might sound a little bit odd, because it's about coming out of the comfort zone, isn't it? Where, again, going back to that example of painting, as a painter, you could either paint stuff that feels safe to you, like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any form of painting, but as an example, like doing standard portraits, that's quite a safe route. Or, you know, that people will sort of value that and be like, oh wow, you did a really good likeness of such and such. Or if you wanted to do something that's wilder and just hardly anybody's going to understand it, you know, you can't, as long as you're expressing, you can't worry too much about what people think, that need to feel safe and secure. I mean, obviously, if there's money involved, you have to find a bit of a compromise there, don't you? You might have to, again, going back to painting, you might have to paint portraits to pay the bills, but then still don't sort of then abandon whatever your unique sense of expression is just because you focused on paying the bills. You can do both if you find a compromise there, because money comes into things with the Ten of Pentacles being there as well. You might be thinking, actually, oh, I really want to express in this way, but there's no money in it, so I don't see the point. There's still a point in doing it, even if you don't make money. It just means you have to find a different route to get money from it. But as I say, you might be thinking, that's not fair though. I put my heart and soul into my unique stuff and nobody appreciates it. Why can't people value that and pay me for that, rather than me having to kind of, you might feel like you're having to sell your soul a little bit to get the money in. Right, so let's move that out the way and look at that Two of Cups. The word connection again. Connection, connection. So with that Two of Cups, so this is like on a slightly different tangent. In terms of relationships, you might be wondering if it's worth expressing to someone how you feel or your needs in a particular relationship. You may feel like you're the one putting in all the effort and trying to keep things balanced, actually, like even walking on eggshells. What else for that? Other than that, other than the relationship side, yeah, it's the question of, should I express myself in the way that I want to, and who should I do that with, and how, and, you know, those kind of questions. Yeah, you've got the King of Swords again, a card of expression, but again, it's like it's an indicator that there's a need to stand strong in what you believe and how you express. To really stand strong, stand up for yourself and believe in yourself. So I've got the King of Pentacles, followed by the Four of Wands. Seven of Swords, that's a bit of a risk there. It's a risk coming out of the shadows, isn't it? And putting yourself out there. So again, in relationships, okay, as a relationship, whether it's romantic or not, again, that expression and communication, you got to stand strong in that. You got to stand strong in your truth and consider, what is it that you really want to build with this person or in this connection, relationship, whatever, and what is needed to have a strong foundation and to support you in that King of Pentacles energy. Because again, if you're in a relationship where you feel like you're doing all the work or you're on eggshells, you can't really be a King of Pentacles like that, can you? Because you haven't got the support. Well, you can, but it's a struggle. If you want the relationship to have a strong foundation, you need to meet each other halfway. And as I say, there's a question of if it's risky expressing that. It might be even that you haven't, that there's someone that you want to start a relationship with and you haven't expressed that yet, and you're deciding whether it's worth it or not. Friends to lovers is coming to mind again. This came up in the Capricorn reading, was it? Yeah, Capricorn. You might want to watch that if you know a Capricorn, or you got it in your chart and your birth chart, and there's relevance there for that. So outside of relationship now, again, in terms of expression, I think there's a need to focus on what you want to build, what you're building, what feels like a solid foundation for you. And not just a solid foundation, but a happy foundation. What are you building that you can celebrate again? Why does painting keep coming up so much? In terms of the painting, if you were doing all portraits and you're not really someone that cares for portraits, you're doing it for the money. Obviously, you're going to be happy with the fact that you're getting money, hopefully. But does it feel like you're able to celebrate your achievements, or does it feel like, oh, well, it's just for the money, so that's all, there's nothing else to celebrate about it apart from the money? You know, again, is it a need to build up the portfolio of unique stuff so that you can genuinely celebrate and be happy about that achievement, that you've done that work, even if not many other people appreciate it? And again, it feels like a risk putting that out into the world. What's the miracle here? That's what I feel like asking. What would be the miracle? In fact, maybe that's the question for you. What would you feel is the miracle? Being accepted, being acknowledged, something else? What would you feel like is the miracle? Okay, let's move these out of the way. Let's get you a card for the potential future energy with this. Potential future energy for Pisces. I'm using the wrong deck again. I keep meaning to use the I'll use it for the guidance card. 7 of Cups. So future energy. You may still be in limbo with this for the rest of August going into September by the looks of it. Questioning, is it a dream worth pursuing? That's what it looks like here. Let me use the deck I meant to use for the guidance. Knight of Wands, it's fearlessness. That's the guidance, is to be fearless. Follow your own path, choose your own direction. Don't let anything stop you. Be fearless. Let's get a couple of clarifiers for the 7 of Cups. Six of Cups, the Fool. Knight of Cups, you've got big cards of like expression, freedom of expression. Yep, King of Wands, it's Wands as well. And the Fool as well, I believe it's the Fool that can be quite eccentric. And also the Page of Wands, I think, as well. But yeah, the Fool and the Page of Wands can be the eccentric cards. Well, say unique cards. Although I quite like the word eccentric. I'd be happy to be called eccentric. I'm not bothered at this point in life. I've been looked at as if I'm weird enough, so I'm just kind of used to it now that I just don't care anymore. I embrace it. Yeah, I think you're still, at least for the next few weeks, you're still going to be in a state of whatever the situation is, whether it is a relationship or something else creative or whatever. Is it worth pursuing? Is it a dream worth pursuing? I would say it's been on your mind for a long time with that 6 of Cups being there. And I guess one thing, you're weighing up the pros and cons, I feel, with that 9 of Wands being there at the end. It's like, can I face I almost want to say potential backlash, but let's get something for that. I don't know if it's... Okay, so it's about the backlash, but it's also fears as well. Can you face the fears and whatever it is that's holding you back? Am I ready to open up with this? It just feels like it's weighing heavily on you to a certain degree with that 9 of Wands. Or as I say, if it's a relationship, I suppose it would be the backlash in a relationship if there's something you want to say and you're not sure how it's going to be received, or the reaction of whoever. You just don't know what the outcome is going to be. So it's weighing on you heavily, I would say. Let's move these out of the way and get... I mean, we already know what the advice is, but let's get a couple more for the advice. The Knight of Wands. So as I said, that was that fearlessness. So we've got the Courage card there with the Strength card. The Hermit, to me, is following your own path no matter what. It's your journey, not someone else's, so you got to do what you got to do. The Death card, it probably is about cutting cords with anything that holds you back, and allowing yourself to transform with this and through this, through the expression. Temperance. So I think as well, in terms of that holding back, you're going to feel dissatisfied until you actually try to express. I mean, obviously you can't guarantee what the outcome is going to be or the response is going to be from others. But I think as long as you keep it to yourself, you might kind of end up in this limbo, and with it just weighing heavily on you, and regret possibly as well comes to mind. At least if you try and express in whatever way it is, it's kind of like you get the satisfaction, hopefully, and you restore your own sense of harmony as well. And not just that, but you feel, you can have that feeling of, well, you know what, at least I tried. Even if it doesn't go exactly to plan, at least I tried. Okay, let's get you a final card of guidance from the postcards from Spirit deck. Final advice for Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising. Okay, you've got 2 cards. So you have, dear you, whoop, don't know why I'm dropping it. Dear you, right, just making sure it's not blurred. Check in occasionally with yourself about your motives behind actions you plan on taking, especially when you have an endgame in mind. Is the source of your motivation desire or entitlement? Maybe you're drawn to a certain path because you think it will bring you a feeling related to the outcome you seek, like safety or wholeness. Know that you will see a reflection in the outer world of the motive that drives you forward. Do you need a motive? Can you simply be pulled in the direction your soul calls you toward joy, discovery, growth, or adventure, participating in something compelling and meaningful without trying to define it? If you can step forward, surrender to whatever spirit has in store for you, you will be amazed at how things turn out. Check your motives, then hand them over to spirit. Everybody here wants the best for you. Life loves you more than you know. I love that, because it is kind of that feeling of you can't guarantee the outcome. All you can do is just follow your heart, follow the direction your soul calls you to, and then I suppose that's when the miracles happen. Right, you also have, dear you, there is a balance between activity and rest, ebb and flow. You can't have one without the other. If you are faced with an obstacle right now, the best course is surrender and non-resistance. Soon enough, you'll see how easy it is to flow around it. Now is one of those times when you must trust the river of your life. Go with the flow, and in no time you'll reach what you have your heart and hope set on. Just remember, spirit will keep your head above water and will direct the currents. When it's time for a greater effort, you'll know exactly when you'll need to work those manifesting muscles. It can be challenging to master the flow cycles of your life, but as you develop your skills, affluence will be yours. Enjoy the flow and trust those currents, for we are right there with you with our little umbrella drink, smiling at your success. Love you so very much. So the surrender and resistance or non-resistance part, I think that's quite a big thing here. Are you resisting expressing? Well, yes, I would say you are resisting expressing. And you know, can you surrender? Can you surrender and see if a miracle happens? So we'll leave that there for you, Pisces. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that the rest of August goes really well for you, and take care.